what should you do if you've already bought a piece of property and then you set your goals and you're maybe struggling with that property isn't necessarily the right fit for your overall goals? All right, so story time. This property, this is 41 acres down in southeast Georgia. It had a lot of loblolly. We call this loblolly hill where I'm standing right now. It had a lot of pines, but also had a lot of it's a wetter ground. It's predominantly a natural hardwood, and what as a forester I would say is a hardwood pine mix. Fun fact, if you're talking to a forester, depending on which word they put first, will vary on like what is the predominant type of stand. So if they say it's a hardwood pine natural forest, it means it's mostly hardwood with some pine. If they say it's a pine hardwood natural forest, it means that it's predominantly pine. There's a lot of pine in there. It's probably mostly upland, but there is hardwood and it is natural. Okay, so that's just a little fun fact there. So this is what we would consider a hardwood pine. There were pines, but it was predominantly hardwoods and it was really wet. We knew this was a wet site because it constantly would hold water. There is no streams here. You can look on topos, we've walked it consistently. There's no streams, it's just the way the development around us has the water naturally flowing and because of the timber here. So, but when we purchased it, we had strong goals of like, we want to make this our own personal hunting property. And yes, we would like to get some timber revenue, timber income from it. Now, we also thought about potentially putting our own home site out here. The home site idea is scrapped. We determined that most of this land, and just based off of how things are set up, it wasn't really going to give us what we wanted. We decided to move the home site somewhere else. But my advice for you is like, if you've already purchased this land and you're like, this isn't exactly meeting the goals I want. So this property isn't going to become a productive timber plantation. I love pines. I really wanted to replant a lot of these open areas into pines and do short rotation pulpwood. I'm in a strong pulpwood market and I really wanted to do that. It's just not going to work out for a lot of variety of reasons. But that does not mean I have to change my overall goal. It just means the management steps I'm going to be taking will change. So now instead of focusing on the pine plantations, I'm going to be focusing on these hardwood stand areas. So I'm in the middle of our old logging deck, so it is hard to see, but we left a lot of our hardwood. So what our management will do, besides just helping diversify, create this mosaic of habitats, is we're going to be focusing on the remaining hardwood trees that are left, creating a good mix of saw timber, chip and saw, and planning that harvest rotation geared towards them. So I'm not going to be necessarily doing that pine plantation rotation of every 15 years. I'm looking now at every 25 to 30 years doing a thinning of those different product classes for hardwood specialty products. So just thought I'd share some fun fact.